Good evening, folks. Welcome to everydaykt number 201. First thing I want to do is thank Nathan Greenberg, CEO of Arkside Marketing, for last night. Episode 200 was pretty awesome. It was one of the longest ones we'd ever done. It seems that our dial-ins or the call-ins seem to get pretty lengthy. It was like 40 minutes. So tonight, we're not going to go that long. And we're going to kind of go back to what we used to do in the early ones and actually talk about kilt stuff. So it's summertime, so we're talking, at least it is here in the U.S. Folks south of the equator, it's not so warm. I apologize. But it's summertime, so we're going to talk about, well, wearing a kilt in the summertime. And some suggestions on what you may not want to do. So first and foremost, we all know, historically speaking, the Scottish kilt is a pretty heavyweight and pretty beefy piece of equipment. Fairly thick wool, fairly robust, strong, and warm. So keep in mind that Scotland is not a warm area. It's cold, rainy a lot. They need tough clothes that can take a beating, which is pretty much every day in Scotland. So those of us who don't live in the Highlands or someplace where the weather pretty much sucks almost every day, what do? So there's a bunch of things you can do. First and foremost, try to find a lighter weight kilt. Kilts usually come 13 ounce, 16 ounce. There are 21 ounce if you want the military grade ones. There are also multiple fabrics that you can use. You have wool, of course, which isn't too bad. But when you're looking at a 21-ounce wool kilt, it's going to be hot as hell in the summertime. So there are acrylic kilts, there are polyviscose kilts, there are pretty much every other kind of material you can imagine. Duck cloth. Leather really sucks in the wintertime, in the summer. I'm going to tell you that right now. Leather is really hot. There are a couple of companies that make nylon-style kilts. Those also suck because those things trap heat like nobody's business. So you want to try to stick with the more natural, lighter weight materials. The utility style kilts, so the cotton ones, the duck cloth, the ripstop nylons like the 511 Tacticals, those are all fantastic summer kilts. They're lightweight. They're not as warm, and the lighter weight tartans, the lighter weight wool kilts aren't too bad either. But just keep in mind that the heavier the kilt, the warmer you're going to be. And if it's an artificial material that's thin, but you just got to try it out and see what you're working with there. Another thing is in summertime, you're doing all kinds of crazy activities. You're sporing. Sometimes you wear it, sometimes you don't. More often than not, I opt for the utility style kilts with pockets, so there is no sporing, so that you can go do stuff, play with the kids, run around the yard. I mow the yard in my 511 all the time, so I don't have to worry about sporing. So it's just gone. Hey, John. Hey, Ian. So those of you watching this is live on Facebook right now, so some of the folks are saying hi. So you want to stick with a lighter weight kilt in the summertime. So with those lighter weight kilts, you have a couple of things you have to keep an eye on. Wind sucks. Wind is always bad when you're in a kilt, no matter what. The lighter weight kilts, there's less weight. The wind doesn't have to be blowing anywhere near as hard for it to actually do something. So you have to be very cognizant of what you're doing. The other thing you have to worry about is chafing. Those of you who don't know, chafing, first off, it's just when things rub, but if it's hot out and you add sweat to that, it sucks 5,000 times worse. So you have to be cognizant of that. Gold Bond works wonderfully. There's a couple of dimethicone cream products out there that work great for chafing. So keep those in mind. Like I said, Gold Bond, that kind of thing is the cheapest and easiest to find. All the other stuff you have to go to like a running supply store that have anti-chafing creams. They have some that are in the deodorant stick style. Those kind of act like antiperspirants where they get crumbly and weird and chalky and It's just gross sometimes. So if you can get the roll-on style, that would be what I would go with. Then you also have to worry about all the other clothes you're wearing. I love my black boots. Wearing them with my kilt, awesome. But guess what? They're big leather black boots. They're hot. So when it's hot outside, you got to wear whatever's comfortable. I usually stick in the summertime. I've got these. They are a pair of L Bean low hikers. Doesn't look all that awesome and crazy, but you know what? It's comfortable, so I don't care. And they're not warm. I'm not going to be sweating because of that. Pretty much everything else, it's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. If you like to wear a heavier weight kilt, that's fine. It's up to you. You can get creative, or you don't mind the heat, so be it. Folks in the southern states, I spent a long time in Tulsa. Those heavyweight kilts are just brutal in the summertime. Especially some of I had a nylon, I had a leather one, my glow-in-the-dark kilt. That thing sucks horribly. That thing traps heat like an oven. It is not even funny how bad that thing sucks in the warm weather. So flip-flops are fine. If that's what you want to wear, swing for the fences. I'm not a fan, but you know what? I'm not going to be wearing them, so who cares? If you like them, wear it. Go for it. Make it happen. So that's kind of the really short version of what to wear or some suggestions if you're new to wearing a kilt for the summertime. Now, there is also another thing that you have to be very, 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 very cautious of. Summertime, a lot of people are off. The incidence for shenanigans is significantly higher. And the odds of people who have had too much to drink or too much to whatever, trying to find their way up your kilt. That happens a lot more in the summer than the winter. Don't know why, don't really care. I just know it does. So you have to be very well aware of that. If you're going out and about in your kilt, just be aware that the odds of somebody being drunk and stupid a little bit higher in the summer than in the winter. Throw a full moon in there, all bets are off. So just be aware of your surroundings when you're out and around. My best suggestion: groups of men in kilts, women in kilts, whatever. Always better idea to do that. So, making up for last night's massive marathon, amazing show, I'm going to keep it short. So somebody throw up a Kiltology. No, we haven't done one in a little while. And we'll see what comes up. And also, I'm going to start doing more and more. Oh, yes, I apologize. John, thank you. John, thank you so much. Here's another thing that I forgot to mention. And I know this because my kids are doing track club. Black flies, no-see-ums, whatever you want to call them, those little asshole bugs that you can barely see are all over the damn place in the summertime. They don't happen in the winter because bugs in the winter don't mix. You're in a kilt, I highly suggest you find some bug repellent and have it with you on a regular basis if you know you're going to be out on a track with people running, or you're going to be out with football field area, big, huge outside grassy areas, because those little sons of bitches always find their way up your kilt. And it sucks. So, bug repellent, bug repellent, bug repellent. That, or just like stay in the water. So, that's it. So, we've got Volume 1. So, here we go. Oh, that's Volume 2. Sorry. Volume 1. It's on Amazon, for those of you who don't know, Kiltology. Let's see what we got. Hope we got a good one. So, here's one. This doesn't... Well, sure it goes. So we talked about how the kilt seems to empower and enable folks wearing it to do all manner of awesome, cool things. It gives them courage, it gives them self-esteem, it gives them an empowerment, it gives them a sense of purpose. But we have Kiltology number 125. The power of the kilt is endless, but it is the man in the kilt who turns that power into something useful. So, what does that mean? Very short, very sweet. It means that, the kilt is a kilt, but this kilt here, hanging over there, airing out because I wore it in the woods too long, and it's a little funky, and I don't feel like washing it. Do you know what this does for anybody hanging over here? It does absolutely nothing. It's a piece of cloth hanging over there. Does zero. This kilt, on the other hand, it gets attention. It helps me business. It helps with all manner of things, good, bad, and otherwise in life. Why? Because I'm wearing it. So if you're one of those who has a kilt, but it sits in the closet, you know what that kilt is doing for you? Bupkis. Zero. The big goose egg. Kilt does none of the amazing things that we've talked about, and a lot of people have talked about and said and experienced and shown, unless you are wearing it. You have to have it on for it to work. Doesn't do any good. And, it could do absolutely nothing for you because you're just like, meh, it's a kilt. I'm going to go be awesome on my own. Fine. That means you're awesome already. So swing for the fences, throw it on, and go have a good time. But if you're not going to wear it and you're not going to go out there and do awesome things, then it's just a piece of cloth hanging on a hook. So chuck it on, get out there, go do some awesome stuff, and be strong. Put a kilt on.